because I saw Xiao Wei is going to now speak at our Sister Cities event at Botanica. She was there again in another stunning outfit.
We have she's out of town the last 2 weeks of January, and then we're out of town the last 2 weeks of February, and then we're out of town for 3 weeks in March.
Okay, well, I know she had been invited to that party, so.
It's a really stupid order of travel. I don't like being gone that much, but
Well, I looked for her.
I will let her know she needs to put that stuff on her calendar. And
Yeah, it was
stop
fun.
planning
Blue jeans
travel
is,
around it.
blue jeans is always fun. And it was really cool to meet Xiao Wei and that she's gonna speak. So can I say something at the very end about our Sister Cities meeting in Botanica? You know, a public comment or whatever it is at the end?
Sure.
Okay. That's really neat, thank you. Yeah, in fact, I wanna find out who's gonna be traveling, historic stuff. I know some people. Yeah, some people that would. I can ask around. Yeah, because this, and it's really funny because when I filed a report to find out where the original statue was.
Do you know is Emily going to be here? Do you know?
In Century Two, so when the city attorney's laughing and discussing it. Oh, yeah, I've been, yeah, if I don't have the. I might ask him if he'd ask him there, just make sure. It's a lot of stuff. Yeah, that's how I said that. Thank you. Bruce, you have to bring us in. You can be. Kids, you've got the hot plug like that.
The hot.
Oh, see. Thanks, Christy. Yeah.
Okay, it is 2:00 on the 12th of January, so I will kick us off. This is the January 12th meeting of the Historic Preservation Board. We'll start with a roll call. Not sure who we have online, so I'll go ahead and call District 1. I didn't see Emily here. District 2, District 3, also.
She has indicated she would be absent today.
Okay, District 4,
District 4, Baum Dixon present.
District 5,
Celeste Reset present.
and District 6.
Claire Willenberg present.
And the mayor's appointee present. Seeing that we have a quorum, I'll ask for approval of this agenda.
Reset moves to approve agenda.
Willenberg seconds.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, moving on, we'll look at, has everyone had a chance to glance at the 8th December meeting minutes? Are there any comments or questions about that? Hearing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve those minutes.
Reset moves to approve the minutes.
Baum Dixon seconds.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? Consent agenda, we have none. Who knew? I think it might be. So we'll move right into project review. Christina, we've got a couple of items here.
Thank you, Bruce. Christina Reith with Planning Staff here to present HPC 2025-00169. This is a nomination to the Register of Historic Kansas Places and the National Register of Historic Places. We provide a recommendation to the Kansas Sites Board of Review. So the following paragraphs are excerpts from the National Register Nomination Statement of Significance. It's located at 640 North Emporia in Wichita, Kansas, built in 1915-1916. And the Classical Revival Style School is nominated to the National Register under Criterion A in the area of education for its history as an elementary school. Just for some context, the first public school in Wichita was completed in 1872. By 1880, the original Fourth Ward school was built at 3rd and Emporia. And then the Webster School was built in 1915-1916, but it was overwhelmed by change. Overcrowding at the elementary level was a significant issue as Wichita's population grew. The Board of Education selected architect Anthony Allaire Crowell to design the school. Crowell was born in New York and started his career in Tulsa, Oklahoma. When Webster Elementary opened, it was fully segregated. Brown v. Board of Education was settled in 1954, but change was slow in Wichita Public Schools. Since Webster was closed as an elementary school in 1958, it is likely that it spent its entire life as an elementary school fully segregated. Some original historical features present. The ornamental plaster that surrounds the original auditorium is largely intact, and I will show that later in the photos in this slideshow. And then lastly, big chunks of plaster on each side of the stage appear to have been intentionally removed. While this repair will require master plaster repair and workmanship, the result will be the historic showpiece of the building and the area. Staff recommends that the Historic Preservation Board supports the Webster Elementary School nomination, evaluated on the criteria listed in the National Register Bulletin. So let's go through some of the site photos here. This is looking east towards the site. Next slide, please. This is also looking east towards the site. That was just the building that was to the south of it. Next slide, please. This is looking west away from the site. Next slide, please. This is also looking west away from the site. It's just another part of the building that you saw on the left side. Next slide, please. This is looking south towards the site. Next slide, please. This is looking north away from the site. Next slide, please. This is looking east away from the site. You can see the Judge Wall House in the background. Next slide, please. And this is looking west towards the site. Next slide, please. And the recommended motion from Historic Preservation staff is here. And with that, I will stand for any questions. I'm not sure if the applicant is, I do not see them available here online. Are they present here for Webster Elementary, the applicant? Okay, I do not see them present at this meeting.
Are there any comments or questions from the board before I open it up to the public?
I had a question about the plaster. I saw that large chunks of it were missing because of possible HVAC installation, but they're going to try to replicate. That's, do they have a craftsman in mind locally, or?
Not that I'm aware of. I haven't been notified of that.
Christina, did you ever find out what the use of this building is going to be from?
No, I did not get that information from the applicant.
Curiosity, do you know when they purchased? Because it's been sold several times after USD.
I didn't get a chance to look at the transaction property records.
Just curious.
Yeah.
So just for clarity, to remind everybody, this vote today is to place it on the register. So we care, but it's irrelevant to today's review, where we're really looking at the historical significance of the property itself.
That's why I prefaced out of curiosity.
And as far as criterion A goes, the significance is education. So I saw that it was the first elementary school in Wichita, and the other firsts were all related to education, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
The first? I thought it said the first was earlier than this, no?
Well, it was the first school, and then it said the first elementary school.
Ah.
Yes.
Okay.
As I said,
Any other comments, questions from the board? I will move the discussion. Did you have something, Claire? I'll move the discussion to the public. Any comments or questions from the public here or online?
Yes, we do have interior pictures. They were part of the staff report. So, and then if you have any other public comment you'd like to provide, please come to the podium. Yep.
Appreciate being here. Obviously, the oldest person in the room. Can you
Give
hear
us your name and
Oh, sorry.
address, please.
I don't do this very often. Vernon Miller, born in Wichita in 1933. I went to Webster grade school, 1938 or so to whenever, 5 years. So I have a very fond memory of this building and the neighborhood. Some of the pictures I saw were things I saw every day. So I guess with that, I thank you all for this presentation, for this, what am I trying to say? Agenda item. How's that? And I remember the getting our little mats and laying them down and sleeping with chocolate milk and cookies in the Webster grade school and playing outside on the back where we try to kill each other with balls and stuff. But anyway, one side note, across one of the views, it showed a building to the west, which was an extension of the original Wonder Bread Bakery. And there was a storefront there. That particular storefront was their discount food store. I mean, you folks probably know that, but my family and I lived at 531 North Emporia, and the apartment buildings have long gone. So I used to go there a lot too. So anyways, great to see all this. I'm so happy you're going to propose this. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you. Thanks for coming down. Any other comments or questions from the public? Seeing none, we'll take it back to the board. The applicant is not here. Is there any other discussion, or do I have a motion?
I just wanted to express also, thank you for coming, Vernon, and it's thrilling to see a beautiful building that has been vacant for so long being
Long time.
repurposed.
In the photograph, there's some duck. Is that going to go?
I think it will be exciting for you to stay tuned, as it will be for all of us. This item is really about putting it on the register. Once that happens, generally, we will review plans at a later date when they're ready to be permitted. And I think it would be exciting for you to attend that meeting.
Yes, if anyone wants to look at the pictures that were in the staff report of the interior, I'm sure some of us
Online.
could, it's online, but we could also stay, some of us have copies and show you.
Are you the applicant for the Webster Elementary School? Okay, so we had a couple questions for you. Would you mind coming up to the podium?
If you could give us your name and address first.
Sure, I'm Angela Cassette, and my address is 1080 Patricia Street in Wichita.
Excellent. We had some questions for the applicant.
I did.
Angela, this doesn't affect the vote today, but I was curious about the plaster work, which was written, and it sounds really exciting in the registry paperwork. So some chunks of it were removed, looks like HVAC. it says you're planning to find craftsmen to replicate it. That's awesome. Can you
Yes.
mention just something about that?
Sure, yeah. So it is really beautiful plasterwork, and most of it is in incredible condition. We actually have been going through a process of doing some selective demo. So they've just figured out, we've just now have a clear picture of exactly what there is and what is in good condition and what is not. And we have talked with a couple of plaster specialists. There's not a ton of them. We've had a conversation with one sort of in the Kansas City area who I think I did a lot of maybe the K-State work in one of their libraries that quite a bit had to be redone. And then we've had one conversation with somebody, I think in the DC area. We're pretty early on there, and we've applied for a couple of grants to kind of help support that plasterwork, but it really is such an important feature of the building. We're really committed to getting it done and beautifully. What's great is, I mean, I would say probably, if we don't count the proscenium, like the rest of it, I mean, maybe 5% is damaged. Everything else is in really great shape. The major work is going to have to be done over that plaster proscenium, where a lot of the plaster work it looks like it was deliberately removed. But it'll be beautiful when it's rehabbed.
This is just curiosity's sake, but it has no bearing on our vote. But just curious, what are you going to purpose the building for?
Sure, we're going to be using it mostly for administrative and classroom space. So it'll have a pretty close usage to the original. We're an arts organization, so it'll be arts education and it'll be our offices. And so there will be some performing, mostly of children in that space, and we'll kind of see how it progresses. But we knew that we needed to find an alternate space. We looked at all different kinds of spaces, including warehouse spaces, just like kind of everything. But this school particularly was just so special, and so we had to make so few changes to the original to do all the things that we wanted to do in it. So it was a great find. Pretty excited.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll second you on that. It looks like you did carefully pick this building. It's got beautiful wood floors. It's got the original tile in the bathrooms. I was stunned when I saw the photos. You've actually got a gem, and it's amazing, and I congratulate you on fixing it up.
Thank you.
Do you intend to use state and or federal tax credits as part of your process?
We do not intend to use federal. Because we're a nonprofit, that's pretty complicated. We do intend to use state. That is a process, and this is part of the process, but that is our intention. We also have been really fortunate to get some community service program tax credits that helped kind of get us kickstarted. We've had a visit from a couple of staff members at the State Historic Preservation Office, and that was really encouraging because we were able to talk through from the outset, like here are any red flags, here's how to manage the things that are the most challenging. For example, they didn't care much about elevators in 1916, and we really care about them now. So we were able to sort of talk through like what are the ways to make whatever changes we need to make in a way that's most respectful of the building, and it all fits pretty nicely. I honestly was a little bit nervous about going down the road of getting the designation because we were afraid that it might keep us from doing what we needed to do, but it's not going to do that. So we're really lucky.
I'm very appreciative of the pre-planning you did and contacting Topeka. And
They were really great, yeah.
they can be very, very helpful.
I'm curious, as I do give some follow-up to the state in regards to their increase of the state tax credit to 40%. Did that factor into your decision here more or less?
I think that what it did, so we had very early on, when we were starting to think about how to get all of the funding we needed for a project of this magnitude, we had talked about, do we try for historic tax credits? And it is easy to find people who will say, oh, it's really hard. And so we'd heard some of that. And so I think that what the change to the 40% did is I think it brought it on a lot of people's radars, where we started hearing from more people, hey, we really should look at this. So I do think that it makes a difference there. I think that for a project of this size, the smaller amount would have been really valuable too. But I think just getting, kind of shaking things up a little bit and making people take another look at something is really valuable.
That's great. I really appreciate that feedback. Thanks.
Yeah.
Anything else for the applicant? Any public comment or questions for the applicant? Hearing none, thank you very much. We'll take it back to the board and I'll look for a motion.
Claire Willenberg moves to adopt the findings of Historic Preservation staff and support the proposed nomination of Webster Elementary School as reviewed in accordance with KSA 75-2715-2725 to the Register of Historic Kansas Places and the National Register of Historic Places under Criteria A, History.
Rowley seconds. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Any abstentions? The motion passes. Congratulations.
Thank you. Now we're going to move on to HPC 2026 quadruple 01. The applicant for this case requests to install 2 internally illuminated signs on the north and west elevations of the building that you see on this slide here. The property is 0.2 acres in size and located on the southwest corner of East Douglas and South Emporia. So the address for that is 105 South Emporia. It is zoned Central Business District and developed with a multi-tenant building that was constructed around 1901 and altered in 1925. It is triple listed and is considered a contributing building in the Wichita Register of Historic Places, the Register of Historic Kansas Places, and the National Register of Historic Places. The 2 proposed signs are made out of aluminum, plastic, and LED. Both signs would read, and you may have to help me with the pronunciation, it's coquetry? Maison, thank you, and would be illuminated with channel letters. So the north-facing sign is 20 feet 8 inches by 1 foot 4 inches in height, and the east-facing sign would measure 14 feet 5 inches by 1 foot 4 inches. Each sign would be placed within the existing transom windows, which, when you go to the top, it measures 18 feet high. The applicant has already installed window signs that do not require a sign permit, and they read 1111, and they're placed on the east-facing bay windows and the north-facing transom window. The applicant has not specified how they would be installed onto the building, but staff recommends that they refrain from installing any signage into the brick. I didn't see that in the drawings that they submitted, but just as a precautionary measure. So let's talk about the East Douglas Avenue Historic District. It's located within the city limits of Wichita and comprises the extant core of historic commercial buildings along Douglas Avenue. So this would be from the 400 block through the 800 block, as well as the east side of the 100 block of North St. Francis and part of the west side of the 200 block of Commerce Street. The ends of the blocks tend to be anchored with larger buildings with monumental appearances, and smaller 2 to 3 story buildings are situated in the center of the block. Some anchor buildings are 3 or more stories in height, and even if 2 stories, have a frontage wider than 1 storefront across the street. Utilizing this commercial building form as a backdrop, a variety of architectural styles and details were applied, primarily those found in the 1880s and again in the 1910s and the 1920s. Within the boundaries of this district are 3 buildings already listed in the National Register. So specifically, we're going to talk about 105 South Emporia. This is a 3-story brick building with a flat roof and a parapet edge, featuring stone coping, rising and stepped battlements on the northeast end. And the cornice, you can see the corbelled brick. The east elevation windows on the second and third stories paired beneath are segmentally arched radiating brick vousards. The north elevation windows are grouped in threes with a large rectangular window featuring 3 fixed sash transoms above. These in turn are then flanked by narrow 1/1 windows on either side. The brick on the upper story has been painted but is now faded. The storefront level features a large display windows with low kick plates. The transoms have been closed down but are clearly evidenced between regularly spaced pilasters which divide the display windows. Properties to the north, south, east, and west are zoned central business district. To the north and east, we have commercial office buildings. To the south of the parking lot or parking garage, and to the west is a bar. A little bit of case history. So this was platted in 1871, and then in 2023, staff administratively approved renovations to the interior and exterior of the subject site, which were approved by consent by the Historic Preservation Board and approved by the National Park Service and Kansas SHPO. So that's HPC 2023-69. And then in 2023, the Wichita Historic Preservation approved this sign here, this illuminated blade sign, and that's HPC 2367. So based on the Secretary of the Interior Standards for Rehabilitation, staff is recommending approval of the application. So I have a recommended motion later on in this slide. So the proposed signage follows standards 9 and 10. So it is staff's opinion that it doesn't obscure any character defining features, and if it were to be removed in the future, would not affect the integrity of the building. And I think the scaling materials are appropriate. It is subservient to the character defining features of this building as well. So let's go to the site photos if we could. So this is looking south towards the site. Next slide, please. This is looking north away from the site. Next slide, please. This is looking west towards the site. So one of the proposed signs would go along this transom window here. Next slide, please. This is looking east away from the site towards the Lawrence block. Next slide, please. And this is one of the signs that they are proposing. This would face along Douglas Avenue. So this is along the north-facing elevation. Next slide, please. And this would be along the east elevation along South Emporia, I'm sorry. Next slide, please. And I have the recommended motion prepared by Historic Preservation staff. So with that, I will stand for questions. The applicant and the agent are both here to answer any questions that you guys may have.
I had one question right off the bat, and I wondered if the way the motion is worded, it will protect the brick, because one question you had in the report was whether these signs would cut into the brick.
Would you be able to come up and answer that question?
My name is Ken. I with FSC Sign Company in Wichita, Kansas. We started in 1975, so we in business about over 50 years. To install the sign, we don't hurt any brick because we drill really small hole. So if we remove the sign, we can caulk it. You cannot see the damage of the brick at all.
Is that hole in the brick or in the mortar between the bricks?
To the brick at all. Sometimes if they deep, they have to go to a little bit of the other side.
I'm not sure I understand.
You see, when we...
Please.
Hello, my name is Mohammed Ruknuddin, and I'm owner of the Cocoa Maison. The sign will not hurt that much of a brick. What he's trying to say is, it's like I will add another in front of it. So basically 2 screws on the back, 2 screws on the back on the aluminum. The sign is aluminum too, it's not that heavy. you can carry the whole sign by yourself basically, so it's not going to harm anyone. There's no safety issues or anything. And the reason I want this sign is there's a 2 medical school building is opening right behind me, and that's the reason I was choosing this location basically based on that. So I want them to see that glowing sign, which is amazing. I do have interior pictures too.
Right. The important thing that we're trying to get to is it's not a safety issue. That's not what we're worried about. What we're concerned about is, does it attach itself into the mortar between the bricks or into the bricks itself? Because we don't want it to go into the bricks itself. We prefer that it go into the mortar between the bricks.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do however you guys like, and
Sounds like it's not
Yeah.
heavy, so
we can do it. It's not heavy at all. Trust me, I've seen. And if you guys want to see the interior of my building, I would love to share that.
I have heard about it.
Thank you. I think that answered my question, that the screws will go into the mortar, not the brick. Thank you.
Do we need to reword that to state that it'll go into the mortar and not the brick? Ed?
I believe that the Historic Preservation Board has the option to approve with conditions. And so that could be one of the conditions. So if you need assistance in crafting the motion, what I would recommend is after 105 South Emporia Avenue, provided that the sign does not get installed into the brick.
Thank you.
So at the end of the motion, yes.
Is there any more comment or question from the board? Seeing none, we'll move to the public. Is there any comments or questions from the public? Seeing none, we'll bring it back to the board. Does someone want to make a motion here?
Brissette moves to find that the proposed signage meets the Secretary of the Interior standards for the treatment of historic properties in accordance with KSA 75-2724, will not damage or destroy the historic property, and recommend approval of the sign permit associated with 105 South Emporia Avenue. In addition, we are requiring or requesting that this sign be attached by screws into the mortar, not the brick itself.
Rowley seconds. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? That motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. So just as a heads up, I will provide a letter for you guys. So when you apply for your sign permit, you'll attach that letter to your application. And I'll have that ready but within the hour.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Looks great.
Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Looking forward to having a coffee and a baguette, perhaps, or a croissant.
All together, actually. Sandwiches, breakfast, lunch, everything together.
You'll get busy.
Excellent. Okay. Me.
Wasn't, there used to be a coffee shop across the street where IMA is currently, and I can't remember the name of that,
Meats
but that
Corner.
was Meats Corner. Thank you.
Next, we're going to move to elections for board chair, first vice chair, and second vice chair.
And this is from an email that I received this morning. So I know we already had elections in October where we did not have a full board, and now we have a full board. Everyone has been signed into their new term, so that's why we're doing elections here in January.
So is there any discussion around this? Does someone want to nominate someone else
Are we
for any of
free-
these positions?
Are we free to continue with the current, to renominate the current officers?
Yes, you're welcome to do that.
But we don't have a second vice chair currently.
Correct.
I move we accept the board chair and vice chair as we voted on in October and nominate Claire Willenberg for second vice chair.
I'll second that. Actually, I can't.
I'll second it.
How does that work? Since we're looking at it as are we voting individually or as a block? What is that?
A block with the addition of the second vice chair,
Okay.
because we voted on this in October.
It's been moved and seconded? No, no one has seconded. Do I have a second?
Bondays and seconds.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed. Any abstentions? That motion carries. That was painless. Sure. Public comment. Oh, we did.
I want to quickly ask a question. I thought Emily was second vice chair.
I thought she was first vice chair.
I thought she was first vice chair, and she is.
No,
But-
this is what that's from the minutes in October.
Emily Taylor for second vice chair. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why I sent an email because, yeah, we had already, maybe should I clarify my motion? I guess we're confused. So the way it was voted on in October was, I believe Bruce was going to be chair, I was vice chair, and Emily Taylor was second vice chair.
Okay.
So I'm confused why no one thought we had a second vice chair. Okay, so my motion could be changed.
So you can accept the motion from the October election to carry forward, which would be Bruce, yourself, Celeste, and then Emily, or we can change the motion to reflect what we just voted on, which is Bruce, Emily, then Claire. Well, that was what was in Celeste's original motion.
Well, I was voting on this slate. So why don't
Okay.
we,
Make a new motion, maybe?
well, I'll make a new motion. The only change I would make is I was electing Claire as second vice chair, though I would, as it was approved last time, I'd be vice chair and Bruce would be chair.
Yes.
Ready to be second vice chair? Sure. Okay. You guys will always be here. I thought that's what we were voting on. Didn't you see that last time?
It's been a few sleeps. So what are we doing here? We're making a motion to nominate me for chair, you for first vice chair, and
Claire.
Claire for second vice chair.
Well, we're clarifying it. Okay. There were some people who have slept since that October meeting.
Yeah. For clarity, I think we should vote on that again, given that there was some confusion as to what we were voting on last time, feels like. I don't think the result will be any different.
That's
What do
fine.
you prefer?
I believe it was just clarified, so if we could just get a second at this point, just to clarify.
I second the clarification of the original vote.
Okay. Okay.
I was gonna be in history as the shortest. You know, like, we have another US vice president. Yeah, it was pretty short.
Thank you for that clarification. I didn't know.
Thank you for pointing that out. I did not understand that we had
No, it was in the October
second.
minutes.
Okay. Public comment. Celeste, you've got a public comment?
I would like to make a public comment on January 24th, Saturday, in Botanica's Lotus Hall, Wichita area's sister cities, which has a historic relationship with Orléans, France, will have its annual meeting at 5 o'clock. I'd love to invite everyone listening and who's present to come to that. It'll be dinner, and we have 6 delegates coming from China presenting a gift to the city of Wichita.
Okay, thank you. I think that takes care of everything on today's agenda, so we'll move to adjourn.
Brissette moves to adjourn.
Rowley seconds. been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? That concludes this January meeting. Thank you.